Hey everybody, my name is Goosebumps for Dummies, and today I'm going to be reviewing for our May Blackspine review, Lost in Stinkeye Swamp. This is a Goosebumps book that I commonly call Trapped in Stinkeye Swamp, just because it's something I'm more used to saying. Yeah, complete mistake on my part. If you hear me say Trapped in Stinkeye Swamp in this video, just bear with me, I'm sorry. It is Lost in Stinkeye Swamp. I just have been calling it Trapped for a long time, believe me. It's not like I just found out it's called Lost. I've known my whole life. Just one of those titles where it's like, I keep calling it Lost Trapped. Now I'm going reversed, because a lot of books have this similar, structure of a title, and I kind of get them blended into one. Just look at the GYG title structure. It's always blank of or in, blank scary place, or reverse for that last part. Yeah, it's usually that type of format, and it just blends into one. But yeah, there's a lot to be said about this book, just up front. This is Mark Nagata's last cover art contribution to the franchise, and it's the second Blackspine to this followed up Zap in Space. And it's also the 24th Give Yourself Goosebumps story. This one actually was referenced in the movie with the plant monsters. If you know what I'm talking about in particular, it's the Venus flytraps that grow at an exponential rate. For the longest time, I thought those were from your plant food. I read it last year in November. They were not. There was no Venus flytraps in that book, funny enough. Then I kept looking around. They were not. Sale the Basement, obviously. Jungle of Doom, even. They were from here. So yeah, let's get into it. And now for the 5 below. Home, Swamp, Home. Welcome to Swamp House, your new home. It's ugly, run down, and haunted by a ghost named Annabelle. That's bad, but there's treasure hidden on the grounds. That's good, if you can survive long enough to find it. In the basement, you'll find a magic telescope and Annabelle's 200-year-old diary. Can a telescope help you strike it rich? Only if you make it through a swamp full of deadly gators and giant man-eating pod plants. What? You're dying to read Annabelle's diary? Well, let's hope Annabelle doesn't mind, because she's watching you. Oh, the choice is yours in a scary Goosebumps adventure with back over the Facebook ending. I said that super wrong. Oh, hi. Yeah. Lost. I said it right. In Stinkeye Swamp. It's pretty good, and in fact, it's quite good. I've been on a bad streak of Blackspines for the past few months, if you've been keeping up the reviews. Danger Time and It's Only a Nightmare have not been very good, but this is pretty good. This is a nice comeback from those two mildly rancid Blackspines. And I, up front, genuinely recommend this if you're looking for something to make you, maybe knock you back in the reading mood, because this definitely did it. So yeah, let's dive in. It's not entirely rare for me to like both arcs, or even one arc in the book, but I did like both here. Equally. Yeah, and it's not like I like them both equally in a way that they're both awful in the same way. No, they're both good in the same way, thank the Lord. So, this book has two decent, genuinely enjoyable arcs that really help this book, because if one was worse than the other, this book would have gone probably maybe a 6.5. Let me tell you, it's not getting a 6.5 out of 10, so. Trapped in Lost in Stinkeye Swamp is got some great arcs, and has got some genuinely decent arcs with some solid endings. There's one that makes a joke about a toothpick, pretty goofy la boofia, and there's some decent endings that come from, say, the steamboat segment of the above ground arc, and the underground arc has a great ballroom associated ending or two. And going into those now, I like the locational idea of this book. Because it's not like, oh, this is a fantastic location. It's just a creepy swamp. It's got some great places that you wouldn't expect to see here, like I said, a steamboat in a ballroom. And with given context, if you read up to that point, I'm not just telling you ballroom straight up, it reminds me of all things, if you've ever seen it, The Oldest View from King Pixels. Just because it's an underground giant ballroom. Like it's been sunken down. Bring up a lot of questions, like, what the fuck? How did this get down here? And why is it out here in the middle of a swamp? So it's one of those thought provokers. Even at the end of the day, it's still really cool what happens there. And it's one of the better endings, like I said. And the steamboat, that's probably the best part of this book. Because it leads into some reveals. So I read this part last, and I've seen the reveals, because there's a lot of recurring stuff in this book. Especially in the underground arc. Zeke was a ghost, and that's the main arc or segment that really hammers down on that, I feel. Because it actually plays into the ending usually. There's some great endings there, like I said, but overall, Zeke being a ghost is its own upside. Yeah, it's a recurring reveal that really adds to the book in a way, and whilst it might be annoying for some people if you don't like it, I like it. I thought it was a solid reveal when it first showed up, and it was executed well every single time, because let me tell you, there's 7 or 8 times this reveal shows up in the book, because obviously they're not expecting you to read through the book a bunch of times till it's spoiled every time, or every other time, sorry. But no, I read for everyone and I enjoyed it just as much, because obviously I'm not reading for the lens that I'm trying to read every ending in this book. I'm just saying, is this a good ending and path and stuff. In general, it's enjoyable. So yeah, the Zeke reveal was good, and it was well executed every time, especially on the steamboat place, and yeah, it's good stuff there. Speaking of Zeke, he is a good character too, so it's not just a reveal. He's a decent side character, and there's generally just a lot of enjoyability in the story, thanks to 4 particular things that combine into one upside, and that is the puzzles. There are 4 major... I'm holding up free. There are 4 major puzzles in this book, and 3 of them are pictures, but one of them is text, and it's just as good as the others anyways. There's one involving a really complicated math problem that's not as hard as it looks. There's something that's alike to a maze, and that's very early in the book, so when you get there, you'll know it's in the basement. And there's some really good stuff here, like, genuinely. If you read for this, you'll have a lot of fun with those, if you're like me, and like stuff like crosswords and word searches, because those are fun to me. But yeah, really good puzzles here. And pictures, too, like I said. What the fuck? That's cool. We got a actual good few pictures in this book, which, you know, shouldn't be a good thing for a Goosebumps story to have pictures, because that's not really what they are, but this is a GYG. And the art is good. It's not, like, bad at all. But the pictures added, because sure, they don't make the story quicker, but they are interesting, and obviously they are the puzzles. So cool. Yeah, very nice book. But it has some flaws. The poop ending. Yeah, moving on, we also have the baby ending, and there's also an abundance of really, not pun intended, shitty endings. Yeah, there's a handful of endings, probably a bit more than a handful, that just suck ass in this book. Like I said, most notably the Garbaggio poo-poo ending. Literally, the poo-poo ending. Kill me. Yeah, that ending was horrible. I can't even talk about it. We're just gonna move on from there. And yeah, there's just an abundance of pretty bad endings. So, yeah, watch out for those. And there's also some rougher scenes in this book. One will lead into our next downside, or final upside. There's a scene involving a sewer, and it's easily one of the weakest parts of this book. I had no interest in it, and the weird character included. And whilst there's a really good ending in there, I believe it is the toothpick ending, really just didn't care for that one at all, and it's just not very interesting and had some rougher endings. The poop ending. But we also had the park ranger segment, which wasn't very good, really, because of the character, the park ranger, and also because it was just had more bad endings, and led into the baby ending with the weird witch scene. Did not like that very much. Didn't really fit here, actually. Park ranger himself, our final issue. Comp, you're gonna have to remake that fucking, that terrible Goosebumps villains video, because this guy, he needs to be on there. He actively wants to be caught as a villain, like deadass. He's so bad at being a villain. He leaves out his evil plans. Not even kidding. And he's just really bad at being a villain, and he doesn't know how to appropriately and efficiently approach the idea that, well, shit, there's some kids foiling my plans. It's pretty fucking bad at being a villain. So yeah, let's move on to my rating. I give this book an 8 out of 10. It didn't knock or downer it out of the park, if you know, you know, but it was still quite good, and for what I had going for a streak of less than good GYGs, I'm glad to finally come back to a particular quality standard. But also, in general, this is just a solid book with its issues. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review, and tell me what you think about Lost in Stinkeye Swamp down below. Glad I remembered, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.